This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, July 19th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Erica, and let's point out the orange elephant in the room.
Orange elephant?
That was terrible. That was terrible. I totally take that back. I said that wrong.
I mean, come correct or don't come at all, Jeffrey.
Okay, we're live. I wish we could start over. The elephant in the room, which is Erica's orange dress. That was terrible. Right when it came out of my mouth, I was like, no.
I was like, yes, this is Byron Lars in Ernst Official, honey. Byron Lars is the comeback story you want to hear about in the designer fashion community. Yes, it's black owned. This man is a legend, and I'm excited to talk to him.
Byron Lars.
Yes, this week on my podcast.
Byron, that's a beautiful, beautiful dress.
You
No
look
disrespect.
gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
how we're going to start off the week. Seems about right. Seems about right to me. All right, let's get to it, guys. You look beautiful, both of you. Britney Spears is back on social media blasting her family over her conservatorship drama. So over the weekend, Britney posted a lengthy message on Instagram saying that she will not be performing on stage anytime soon. In the post, she called out her, quote, so-called support system for hurting her deeply and said her conservatorship has killed her dreams. She also took a swipe at her sister, Jamie Lynn, for performing her songs at award shows without permission. So Jamie Lynn responded by posting this selfie in a red suit. She originally wrote, quote, may the peace of the Lord be with you and your spirit, but later changed it to a peace sign and a heart emoji. Britney then posted a video of her dancing with the caption, quote, may the Lord wrap your mean bleep up, enjoy today. First of all, I want to break this down a little bit. What award shows did she perform that at? I didn't see anything that she was performing. And second, are they like really feuding? Is this real?
Well, I think for a long time, all of the family have been playing this, we're all on Britney's side while they take a paycheck. I mean, and then now Britney, I think, finally has the confidence to speak up and stand up for herself because everything that's been happening, the momentum, and her also, I think, taking control over her own narrative as much as she can, which is obviously limited at the moment. And I think she's just finally saying and calling people out on everything they've been doing.
Do you think I'm still trying to figure out, is this media trying to put them against each other?
No.
Or are they really feuding?
I think she is calling her sister out.
It certainly seems that way, and that's the reason why when we're having these conversations, it's so hard to really have this conversation because every time something comes out, like for instance, Jamie Lynn apparently never took money from Britney, which is what we're being told, but there clearly is some turmoil there, and that's really sad to see because at the end of the day, I mean, you would hope that your blood, your sister, would be someone who would be a true advocate and an ally. And when Jamie Lynn came forward, I was the first to be like, you know, I can understand why she didn't come forward before. But clearly there's so many other things that are happening. It's like nobody knows what's really happening. I don't know if people inside know what's happening.
Maybe she didn't take a direct pay check from Britney, but she'll still go on stage and perform her songs without permission. Cool.
Where did she do that at? What do you mean award shows?
I mean, I don't even know because I don't even care.
And imagine the producer of that award show like, hey, can we get Britney? No. How about her sister sing her song?
Yeah, that is really weird.
Let's do it to a remix as well.
Yeah, it seems a little weird. And I think you're right. I don't think we all know anything really that's going on internally with that whole story. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. Kate Beckinsale is insisting she had never got any work done on her face. So speaking to the Sunday Times, Kate said she gets upset when people think she had Botox. The 47-year-old said her youthful appearance is all in her genes. She's stunning, by the way.
Yeah.
Kate isn't against getting injections, but she's afraid if she got Botox, she would be the one to get that droopy eye. We're going to show you a picture of that later, what we're talking about. For the record, Kate did admit to getting PRP. That's when they take blood plasma and re-inject it into your skin. Now, is that what they call a vampire facial?
Yes.
That's what that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten vampire facials? I know my wife has.
No, I haven't had a vampire facial because, so this is my theory, which I really believe in, unless your blood is like super healthy and you're like a top-notch athlete that's like prime, you know, you're like the fillet steak of whatever. I don't want to inject my blood plasma that's already in my body into my face. I want something fresh and new and fabulous that's coming from a very clean outside source.
Botulism.
Basically, I'm going to say,
I think it's a little nutty.
What, but, you know, I'm not even going to say what because the hate will come through on all levels.
I have nothing against Botox. You know, what people choose to do with their bodies, I'm all for. You know, I hope that they're healthy. I don't do Botox, and the reason why is there's also this thing where when I look in the mirror, I see my grandmothers, I see my mom. You know, there's certain characteristics.
I see perfect skin. Maybe that's why.
Oh, well, you making up for the elephant. I see you, Jeff. I see you, Boo. But no, and there is a characteristic, especially like I have TMJ, so like everyone's like, get Botox and that helps, but it also alters your face a bit.
Yeah.
And I just don't know at this point in my life if I'm ready to alter my face because I feel like then I'll be used to that face and I'll continue to want it. So for me, I'm like good on just doing more of like the surface level things just to make sure that that I'm staying ahead of the game.
Exactly. So when we were talking about the droopy eye, there's a model that went viral on Instagram. Here it is right now. She just got regular Botox, and sometimes it has this effect, and you can see her droopy eye. She capitalized on this. She makes Instagram videos. She's made her rounds throughout media and done press on that, but she kind of embraced that. I actually had Botox done, and you could tell. I didn't realize it till my wife or someone told me. I think we have a shot of it. Or do we have a clip? Let's roll the clip. Let's roll this clip, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I promise you more people got hurt with those exercise balls than all those equipment put together.
Explain what happened. Explain why.
So I got Botox, and then I guess it's called like a Spock eyebrow. So I was just looking, I was like, oh my God, my eyebrows. And then you have to go back in, and they do another one, and it comes down.
Yeah, they do a touch up, and then it'll lower the Spock eyebrow.
But I didn't know. Jordan's like, I think you need to go get that fixed. I don't know.
That's a real relationship.
You didn't see it?
I was like, dude, I look great. For me, I didn't notice, so I thought that's what it's supposed to happen. I'm like, wow, I look youthful. But then when I saw like the playback, I was like, what was I thinking?
That's so funny. I've had Botox in my forehead, and it definitely it kind of sunk my forehead a little bit, and I had to wait for it to dissolve.
Oh, really?
And then
you can't go back and get, because I went back and they just went dink, dink on each side, and it kind of lowered it.
No, I had to wait for it to dissolve because it was so subtle, to be honest.
Right.
It was like no one even noticed other than literally me in the mirror every day. I was like, this is driving me crazy. But yeah, no, I think it's very important to go to a doctor to get your Botox.
And speaking of TMJ, I got to talk to you. Remember I told you all that stuff?
Yeah.
I had to get a tooth pulled last week. We're going to talk off camera because me and Erica always share like these little stories. I don't know why. Every time I have something like a weird procedure or have something weird to get done, I'm like, I got to call Erica. I don't know why. I'm always like, I got to talk to Erica.
Because I will try anything, apparently, other than Botox.
It's just so, like, anytime I'm like, wait, I have someone coming in town and they like skeet shooting on horses. Erica probably knows a little bit about that. Just random stuff.
Funny.
All right, let's get this last story, you guys. Idris Elba wants more accountability on social media. I'm with him. He recently posted a message on Instagram saying that everyone on social media should be verified, as in having their real identity checked and posted online. He said posting on social media is like boarding a plane without having to show ID, so cowards are protected by a veil of privacy and security. He added that if people want to post racist messages, they should have to do it with their actual names and not a username. I've been saying this for a couple of years now. So now
as soon
Idris
as I saw it, I was like, Jeff.
Yeah, I said people should have to use their driver's license to get on social media, not to stifle them from free speech, but to be accountable for what they say.
Right, and I don't have a problem with that, but I also, I mean, Idris Elba, is obviously a major celebrity, and there's so much energy, because that's what it is. It's like, regardless of what people are saying, good, bad, or indifferent, it's just a lot of energy that is unsolicited a lot of times coming at you. And for me, I have a hard time responding to negative things because it's almost like it's a ghost. Like, I know that there are presence around me, and some of them are positive and some of them are negative. If I give energy to that negative presence, it starts to take over my life. It's like it invades my sanctuary at home. So for me, I do receive them, but I'm like, the algorithm doesn't care. Good, bad, indifferent, hateful, loving. You're still, you're working for me for free, okay? You're working for me for free.
But it's hard to get to that attitude, like you go through a roller coaster, at least I do, of emotions when I see things like that, or when celebrities see, and we're seeing more and more of it.
Right.
No, I think it's very easy for people to be like a keyboard warrior behind some like cute pickle 99, or like they make all these silly names, and then like they think that gives them access then to be like a complete troll, and it's acceptable. I just think it's terrible. And I think if there's some way of holding people accountable, so like if there is a mean comment, even if it is so like Erica can flag it, and then like Facebook or Instagram or whoever can actually hold them accountable, I think it would stop so much online bullying and hate. And I think people just seem to think because people don't know who they are, they can just say whatever they want. And yeah, there's freedom of speech, but also it just makes you a bad person.
Absolutely. I think the bullied people who have been bullied in their lives are now the bullies online.
Yeah.
Right? And I wonder what kind of messages you're getting from Cute Pickle.
That was just a random.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Baywatch star David Chokachi. Did he really get to choose Pamela Anderson as his love interest on the show? And Shailene Woodley gets real about sex scenes, what she says is the most unrealistic thing about them. That's coming up. Stick around.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL Nation, it's Kelly Schubert here. I've got a mint in my mouth, and now you can hear me talking with a mint in my mouth. I'm really sorry, but I just gotta have good breath for the host. Let's go talk to him and see what's going on. Hey guys, how was your weekend?
Your good breath.
Oh, how was your weekend, guys? What'd you do? Anything fun?
Well, I was in LA, which was
Eric
really
had a
great.
great weekend.
Yeah.
It looked like you had a fun weekend. You do anything exciting?
Is it locked down again? Like, do you have to wear masks in places and things?
So as of midnight last night, or midnight yesterday, they reintroduced a mask ordinance for anyone, if you're vaccinated or not, inside. But like, we went to dinner and like, we were out, so.
If you're outside, you're fine.
You're fine.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's good to know.
The restaurants are open and.
Did you feel safe? Like, did everything feel like safe and spaced out still, or?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really amongst huge crowds.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest crowd I was with was at the beach, so we were all
outside. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a really awesome trip.
Wait, we need to know some more about your designer of the dress that you're wearing. Yes.
So, Byron Lars. So Byron Lars was in like anthropology. I mean, you could still find Byron Lars everywhere, but now Byron is in Ernst Official, and he just is an amazing designer because he styles for curves, and it's very flattering, and the material is super high quality. I just love him so much. So follow his story because he's going to be coming out with amazing things, and I'll let you know when the podcast posts.
Ooh,
I love
exciting!
Info on Erica's.
Yeah, me
comeback
too. I
podcast.
can't wait. What'd you guys do this weekend over there?
We went to this dinosaur thing in Colorado Springs. It was like an hour and a half away. And they show in the pictures like these giant dinosaurs coming out of trees. And it's in a parking lot, and you kind of follow around, and the dinosaurs like move a little bit, but it's kind of cool. The kids liked it. The kids loved it, and then you kind of follow along with the YouTube video, which explains.
Were they
all the different
Were they
dinosaurs.
freaked out? Or were
They love it. They're like, it's scary. Like,
did they think it was real?
No, it's not that good, but it's worth going to for sure. Welcome back to DBL. Shailene Woodley says some movie sex scenes are totally unrealistic. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Shailene says she prefers to discuss all her sex scenes with the director and actor to make sure it's authentic as possible, including whether nudity is needed or not. She said she takes issue with sex scenes where the woman is wearing a bra, adding that she doesn't think she's ever had sex with a bra on, or very, very rarely at least. I think especially in today's day and age, you gotta have those conversations with the actor and director just to make sure everything's on the up and up, right, so to speak.
No, I think so. I think I love Shailene. I think she's fabulous.
Yeah.
I think she's an amazing actress.
Big Little Lies, great
She was so good in that series, like unbelievable. But I think, I understand what she's saying about women. I mean, I might have probably had sex with a bra on. I don't know. It's not something that would be like.
Unrealistic?
If you're getting unchanged, then you're probably going to take your bra off, aren't you? But maybe that's like a nudity clause for actors that don't want to go full frontal and show everything, and like maybe that's a clause. So it might not be super realistic, but it keeps them feeling comfortable doing the scene. So I understand. So I kind of feel bad that she's slating other women that maybe don't want to expose themselves.
I think to each their own, but if she's making comments about how the decisions are made, then I would also wonder like how the decisions are made based on the preference of those in the room.
Yeah.
And what is the genesis of that preference? Like, is it for someone's personal pleasure that they're now giving to someone else? Because it's like, if I like this, you might like that. I think there's a lot of conversations that need to be had when you're in front of a camera, period.
Absolutely.
Because there's a trust that needs to be built there. We can all come to the same goal and make sure that things are successful. But if you feel in front of the camera as if you're purposely being exploited in that way, then that's problematic. And that's what a lot of actors and actresses are feeling. Yeah. So I'm glad that she's speaking up about it because she would know better than most.
Absolutely. Have you watched the show Sex Life on Netflix yet?
No.
No. Oh, it's
we talked about it a little bit last week. It's going crazy.
It's like wildfire.
But speaking of sex scenes, there's a lot of them in there. My wife asks me all the time. Because I don't know if you guys know, when you go out on auditions and things, you have to say, are you willing to do nudity and things like that? Right. That's just from a beginner. Obviously when you're a named actress, you could pick your own, whatever you want to do. But some of those scenes, it's like, you got to know going in, like, this is going to affect the rest of my life.
So you've been watching it now?
No, I just talk with my wife. My whole neighborhood's talking about this.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And talk about sex scenes. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Well, I'll have to check it out.
It's up to you. Coming up on DBL, Baywatch star David Chokachi, what he thinks about being part of the iconic show, plus his new role as God. Look at that face.
In the billionaire space race, there are a lot of bragging rights, and Richard Branson was the first to go to space in a craft he helped fund. Or was he? The supersonic space plane created by his company Virgin Galactic took off from New Mexico on July 11th and reached 53.5 miles above the Earth. NASA and the FAA define space as 50 miles above Earth, so he went to space, right? Well, Bezos' company, Blue Origin, says that flight has an asterisk next to it because it really didn't go to space. The international group that certifies aeronautical and astronautical records uses something called the Kármán line to define where space starts. That is 62 miles above Earth, which is how high Bezos' Blue Origin is planning on going up. Some experts are not impressed with either billionaire. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson questioned whether either man is actually an astronaut because they're not reaching low Earth orbit. He told CNN that since they didn't get into orbit, it's not actually space travel, just a nice view of Earth.
Pretty amazing around here. Hi.
Hi.
I'm CJ. Welcome to Baywatch.
Thanks.
If you need anything, I can...
Logan will show you. Oh, perfect. Logan, this is Cody.
Hi, Cody Madison. How's it going?
Welcome back to DBL. That was David Chokachi playing heartthrob Cody Madison on the iconic TV show Baywatch, of course. Now he's going from the beach to the bar. Earlier we spoke to David about his new movie, Last Call in the Doghouse. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
David, welcome to DBL. Now, on Baywatch, your character Cody started out dating Pamela Anderson's character CJ. What did you know of CJ or Pam Anderson before this? Like, did you have a say in her casting? Were you excited that she was joining Baywatch?
More questions, Sam.
I joined the cast after Pamela was already on, but when I came on, they basically gave me the option. They saw me work for a couple episodes. They liked the chemistry I had with Pamela, and they were like, "Which direction you can kind of pick, David? We can go Yasmine Bleeth for you or Pamela Anderson."
Gosh.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love Yasmine, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Pamela because Pamela and I had this really goofy side to us. We were very self-deprecating. We had just like this friendship that kind of transformed." So when it came time to have a romantic relationship on the show, I said, Pam, and because we had this friendship that was just based in kind of enjoying life and being fun and not taking work too seriously, but doing good work, as a result, the work we did on screen came off great.
Yeah, there was a trust there.
She's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how did you deal with being a heartthrob on Baywatch? Did you have any crazy fan stories where random people would show up on the beach? Anything out of this world happen?
We had when we were shooting, we'd have to have barricades and police barricades because it was back in the day with, the paparazzi were a real problem, like a real danger to people. And then tourism, there was so much tourism drawn towards Santa Monica Beach because that's where everybody in the world felt Baywatch really existed. People think the United States is kind of what they see in Baywatch. They think it's the beach right there, which is hilarious. My character became super popular. I got voted one of 50 most beautiful people in the world. Heck yes.
Yeah.
So it was, it was a fun ride. And like when we went to when the first time I went to England with Gina Lee Nolan, and we were the new stars of the show, we got there and it was like we were the Beatles. Honest to God, it was mania. Like the show was so worldwide popular back then that we were like rock stars. So it was awesome.
It's amazing.
I'm glad we got your reaction.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about your new movie, Last Call in the Doghouse. Listen, you play God, David. How do you even start preparing for a role where you play God?
Last call in the right bar can be very precious.
You just said a mouthful.
It's my trade, you know?
This was tricky in the sense that I didn't want to have any preconceived notions of what I thought God was come into my decision making when I just deciding how to play God. But what I did after reading, Bruce Reisman wrote the script and directed it. When he wrote this and I read the script, I wanted to portray God as we're all in this mortal, we're all in these physical forms. But I wanted God to have this empathy for human beings at how conflicted they were. And almost, I wanted it to be more of a silent performance, almost like he's observing humans in their habitat and how they continually kind of hurt each other or hurt themselves. But in this story, in Last Call in the Doghouse, we go into these people's traumas in the flashbacks and we help alleviate their trauma by exploring it. And then we come back into reality and these people are then changed forever in a positive way. So the Doghouse, the dive bar, is this magical bar. We have a great cast: Aaron Forbes, Adam Jacobs, Yancey Butler, Parker Stevenson, and again, our director, Bruce Reisman. And the movie itself, it's kind of a combination of Cheers meets Touched by an Angel meets Field of Dreams, if you guys can fathom that one.
That is so cool.
I'm excited.
I love that.
Coming out of the pandemic, this movie has got so much hope and so much love. You will laugh, you will cry, and you will continue to talk about the movie after, because the connective tissue through all the characters, if you're really paying attention, will blow your mind.
Wow. It sounds
great.
It sounds relevant and it sounds absolutely inspiring. And just to know that you're not alone if you're suffering from depression is truly life-saving. And that's coming from personal experience. So thank you, David. Thank you very much for joining us here on DBL. So David's new movie, to all of our viewers, Last Call in the Doghouse, is available for streaming now on StonyPointEntertainment.com. We'll be right back. Thanks, David.
Thanks,
Thank
David.
you.
Thanks, brother. Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Tracking your steps has never been more popular, and we got this question. Does everyone really need to get to 10,000 steps a day? Let's verify. Our sources are Dr. Gretchen Cody, internal medicine and pediatric physician at York Family Practice, and a study from Brigham and Women's Hospital.
The initial pedometer was called in Japanese like 10,000 steps, and that's the only place that 10,000 steps number comes from. That's like never been a study that said that you really had to have 10,000 steps.
A study from Brigham and Women's Hospital found that for older women, taking more than 4,000 steps per day was significantly associated with lower risk of death compared to those taking 2,700 steps per day. Risk of death continued to decrease with more steps taken, but leveled off at around 7,500 steps per day.
It absolutely depends on who you are. Some people, sure, it really works for you, because some people, to have that number goal to get to really makes a big difference. For other people, that really doesn't motivate them, so that it's not a big deal. But if you aren't pushing towards that 10,000 steps a day, you don't have to feel like you're failing at it, that you're not doing a good job. Even increasing from 2,000 to 4,000 steps a day makes a big difference.
Dr. Cody's best piece of advice?
If you want to get a pedometer and wear it like a Fitbit or something like that, wear it and then see how many steps on average you already get a day. Then add to that 1,000 or 2,000 steps a day.
So we can verify, no, not everyone needs to reach that 10,000 steps a day mark. Just try to bump up what you are doing daily. Living a healthy and active lifestyle is key.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments, right, Steph?
Oh yeah, we've got some comments. We've got one on Botox. So Simone has written in saying she's with Kate, and she said
Botox?
She said she's too afraid to get Botox because she thinks she'd be one of the few where it goes wrong. I think you just got to go with someone really reliable. Read all the reviews.
Yes.
Look at all their Instagram posts. You know, you'll be fine. I'm all for the needles.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.